What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back again with another huge omnibus haul. I'm supposed to be getting rid of books, but books just keep coming on in. Huge shout out to Marvel Comics for sending us the majority of this haul. Most of these books are early releases, so I'll give you the release date and what they collect. And shout out to Valiant as well, who sent through the Bloodshot oversized hardcover. Before we jump into this huge haul, I just want to make you guys aware that this Wednesday, March 16th, I'm going to be doing an omnibus sale on Whatnot from the personal collection. You can bookmark it now. You can see all the listings if you click the bottom right-hand corner of that little price tag. If you haven't downloaded Whatnot yet, use the link in the description. It'll give you a $10 credit that you can use towards your first purchase, whether that's with me or whoever. It kicks me a $10 referral as well. But we are moving soon, and I'm not moving the entire collection, so this is the last big omnibus purge that I'm going to do before we get up on out of here. So make sure to come through to that sale. So let's start with the trade paperbacks, and I'm going to try to go in chronological order. This book releases on March 9th, so members will see this early. This video probably won't come out until after that, but it's just the 9th volume of Dan Slott's Fantastic Four, collecting issues 36 through 39, Road Trip issue 1, and Fantastic Four Grim Noir issue number 1. It's a $20 trade paperback. I'm currently not reading Dan Slott's Fantastic Four, but if you are and you're collecting it in trades, make sure to be on the lookout for this one. All right, so here's a better look at the cover here. Eternal Flame is the name of this one. Hard to really speak on this since I'm not reading it, but I do think it's cool that Dan Slott is putting in so much work on this run. Like, what is he, 50 issues in now? So volume 9 of the trade paperback. It's something that I always tell myself I'm going to end up reading once it comes out in omnibus format. Marvel seems to love publishing Dan Slott omnibus, except for Superior Spider-Man for whatever reason. But current ongoing, I mean, I've heard bits and pieces from doing like the top 10 with Rock and Robbie, and he's currently reading it. It sounds like it's really caught its stride in the later issues. I did read some of Dan Slott's Fantastic Four stuff during Empire. You know, some of it was okay. I like Dan Slott's writing. Usually it's fun and quirky, but sometimes he could really nail it. So the trades, I'm omnibus waiting it, but trades out if you guys are reading it in this format. Also on March 9th, we have an epic collection from Captain America. This is Arena of Death, and it's volume 19 of the Captain America epics, collecting the years from 1992 to 1993, which is Captain America 411 through 419, annuals 11 through 12, Ghost Rider / Captain America Fear, U.S. Agent 1 through 4, and material from Silver Sable and the Wild Pack issue number 15 with a $45 cover price. Captain America. All right, so for all the epic collection collectors, this is what we're getting with this Captain America epic. Not something that I collect. I do think it's cool to have different formats, especially chronological order. That's where this format really shines, on just collecting issues 1 through whatever, however many volumes it takes, and you don't have as much fear of them not continuing the run in some type of collected edition. First of all, love the artwork on this though, man. Wraparound cover, Ghost Rider Cap Fear. That looks dope, man. Like a graphic novel, right? So you have that more mature art here. That looks like a good just one and done read even, man. Ghost Rider and Cap. That screams early 90s vibes for me. So moving on, we got some Cap. Falcon action. Got some Crossbones action here. Marvel swimsuit special. MODOK here. That's a cool era of Cap, though. This is a cool volume. Early 90s stuff, what I say, was 92 to 93. That's my jam right there, yo. All right, just a quick look at it. I haven't read this material. U.S. Agent 1 through 4, you get that first mini-series like I mentioned. Cool. All right, guys, then coming out on March 16th, we have the Death of Doctor Strange. You have the main trade paperback and the companion. So this was a miniseries that came out recently, and it had some tie-ins. So the main series is a 5-issue miniseries. It's an $18 trade, and the companion collects Death of Doctor Strange, Avengers, Spider-Man, White Fox, Blade, X-Men / Black Knight, and Bloodstone. $25 trade here. So you basically are getting like a mini omnibus worth of material. It was a pretty interesting concept. I read it weekly and reviewed it with my new comic book day reviews, but we could flip through and take a quick look. All right, guys, so Doctor Strange is dead. Jed McKay killed him, and Doctor Strange put in some type of fail-safe that if he died, a version of him from whenever he casted that spell would come alive and like tighten up all the loose ends, because apparently Doctor Strange holds a lot of things together and has a lot of spells and barriers up that when he dies and that falls, it causes all type of problems. Now, and what's funny, that is also kind of what's happening in Thor with Odin, right? That's kind of interesting. So you get the main storyline here. It's a murder mystery, whodunit type of story. The companion tie-ins deal with the repercussions of Strange being dead and how the other heroes are having to clean up those messes that are caused by that. So some of the tie-ins were good. I remember, if you watch my weekly comic book day reviews, I've read every one of these issues in both trades, and some I spoke really highly of. I can't really recall at this point, but if you're a Doctor Strange fan, it's a mini event. It affected the rest of the Marvel universe, however, whatever that means. All right, guys, March 22nd, we have a few releases as well. We have Carnage, the Epic Collection Born in Blood. So this is Volume 1 of Carnage. Kind of weird how they have other trade paperbacks like this. I guess Carnage Classic, but this is a true epic going in chronological order. So Amazing Spider-Man 361 through 363, 378 through 80, Web of Spider-Man 101 through 103, Spider-Man 35 through 37, Spectacular Spider-Man 201 through 203, and material from Spider-Man Unlimited 1 and 2, and Amazing Spider-Man Annual 28, $45 for the epic. Normally, I would be a sucker for this, man. I mean, I had the classic Carnage, had the same cover, Mark Bagley. What is this, from issue 363? Carnage is green instead of red. They titled this Born in Blood, David Michelini. Let's see, we have the spine for the Epic. But again, for Epic Collection collectors or people who maybe will now become one, you're starting off with Volume 1 with that essential Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom material. Including the first issue, and I'm sure they have the cameo before that, like they always do. They've reprinted this a few times in some sort of trade paperback format, and eventually I think we did get in Spider-Man vs. Venom, everything that I wanted. Bro, this is my childhood right there. Black and blue symbiotes, red and black symbiotes, Bagley, Spider-Man. This is what I grew up on, guys. So cool. Doppelganger, Shriek, Demo Goblin. This Maximum Carnage was the first trade paperback I ever read. So does this collect Maximum Carnage? Oh, it does. Yeah, so this collects his first trilogy, which I think is called Carnage, and Maximum Carnage. Also on March 22nd, we have X-Men Bishop's Crossing. This epic collection is volume 20 of X-Men, collecting Uncanny 281 through 288, Uncanny X-Men Annual 16, X-Men 4 through 9, X-Men Annual 1, and Ghost Rider 26 through 27. I had the oversized hardcover of this, which was like an out-of-print whale, hoping for an omnibus that collects this material, but if you're into epics or trades, you can get this material when it comes out on March 22nd. All right, so Bishop's Crossing. You got Jim Lee, John Byrne. Awesome artwork here. The cover for 282, which I don't think he even appears in the issue. He's just really on the cover, right? Like I said, $50 cover price. I was reading the OHC. I got to be honest with you, man. Some of this X-Men material that people love, hold so dearly to their heart, it was hard for me to get into it, man. Some of it dragged on a lot. The art is great. Some of the story was hard for me, but very nostalgic, especially this stuff, the Omega Red, the Wolverine stuff. But the Bishop Crossing storyline, I couldn't get into the thick of it. I was reading, I think, maybe the first few issues, and I ended up putting a pause in it, never got back to it. Ended up selling my OHC and hoping for, like I said, an omnibus to collect it. But, I mean, flipping through the pages, it's classic 90s X-Men. I mean, you can't really be mad at that. I got to give Bishop's Crossing another chance. Maybe I should just read this trade now since I have it. And see what I'm missing here. Some of this I'm sure I read and collected as a kid, but not nearly all of it. The last March 22nd release, we have X-Men, the Blood of Apocalypse trade paperback by Peter Milligan. This collects Cable and Deadpool 26 through 27, plus X-Men issues 177 through 187. So $34 cover price. I'm not familiar with this material, I don't think. I may have read the Cable and Deadpool issues, but a pretty cool trade. X-Men Apocalypse. Can't go wrong. All right, so X-Men by Peter Milligan, Blood of Apocalypse. Here we have the spine. Here we have the back. Now, yeah, like I said, I had the Cable and Deadpool omnibus. I'm not sure how much of that I actually read, though. So I don't know if I did catch these Cable Deadpool 26 and 27. Yeah, I don't think I caught this. Apocalypse with Deadpool. So way later on in the X-Men, the core X-Men run, I would say, right? Because you have X-Men issue, what is it, 117? That's from the Jim Lee relaunch, the Chris Claremont, Jim Lee X-Men 1. So it already went up almost 200 issues here. So that's what we're getting, more of that, what is this, early 2000s X-Men or so. Not familiar with this material. If you guys want to give it a recommendation down below, let me know. The art's solid, you know, early 2000s Marvel. All right, then on April 6th, we have another Moon Knight complete collection. This is the Legacy collection by Bemis, Burroughs, Templeton, and Davidson. I have my bookmark in it now because I started reading this. This is much different than the Jeff Lemire run so far. Collects Moon Knight issues 188 through 200 and has a $40 cover price. More of a superhero Moon Knight with a villain rather than Lemire's take where it's all psychological. Yeah, so I read the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight complete collection. Then, you know, Marvel sent this one out, so I'm about, what, halfway through it. It's good, man. I like it. It's like I said, very different than the Jeff Lemire run. I think this came before it, but yeah, it's like I said, very much the Moon Knight as a superhero fighting bad guys. I did read this one too by Bendis, where he had like other superheroes' powers. But yeah, this guy ends up becoming the main antagonist here. It's like the sun god versus the moon god kind of thing. I like the artwork. I like the writing. I got to wrap this up. I don't know if I'll do a whole review on it, but I did want to just brush up on more Moon Knight stuff before the show came out. Love this variant cover. Mike Spicer kills it on the colors. This is after the point where I've read. Yeah, but it's so far it's a solid Moon Knight book, man. I'm digging the different takes on the characters, and there's so many different things you could do with him. You know, I couldn't find a release date on the Secret Invasion Meet the Skrulls, but this trade paperback's coming out. I've started reading the Omnibus, but this collects Meet the Skrulls 1 through 5 and Road to Empire, the Kree-Skrull War. So this is going to be modern material, $25 cover price. It's probably important for the Secret Invasion show on Disney+. Otherwise, why would they release this right now? All right, so like I said, Secret Invasion Meet the Skrulls. Great cover. Got like a little Meet the Parents parody going on here. So it looks like it's about a family of Skrulls and their perspective during Secret Invasion. That's a pretty cool premise, actually. I haven't read this. I got to check to see if this is in the Omnibus. Actually, let me check. So not collected in the Omnibus, guys. That's good to know. This may have been published after as kind of like a retcon type of backup story thing. All right, so I have not read this material, but again, Secret Invasion is coming. We've already been teased Skrulls in the MCU. Marvel doing the right thing with timing, pumping out material relevant to what's happening in other forms of media. It looks solid. Looks like we got a throwback issue here. Oh yeah, here's Fantastic Four 18 first. Super Skrull. So this trade paperback has the 5-issue miniseries plus some reprinting some other material that kind of coincides with the story. All right, guys, on April 13th, we have Star Wars The High Republic. This trade paperback collects the 5-issue series. I believe it's still ongoing. I hear mixed reviews about it. I didn't read any of these issues. Some people will tell me in the comments I should be reading it. I see videos where people bash it. $16 trade paperback if you want to find out for yourself. All right, so like I said, Star Wars The High Republic, Trial of Shadows. It's a thin 5-issue trade paperback. I'm not really a huge Star Wars guy. Like I've seen all the movies. I enjoy the lore and the mythos, but sometimes it's just too much to get into. I didn't read High Republic. At this time, I was reading the other Star Wars Marvel titles like Darth Vader and Star Wars, but I ended up dropping those too. Art looks solid right here. You got some kind of timeline of factions. Okay. Yeah, I heard good things, and I've heard not good things. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. I guess I should read it for myself. It's only a 5-issue little trade paperback, but again, not a huge Star Wars guy. Let me know what you think below, guys. And then the last trade paperback, this one has already been released last week as of the time of recording. It's the Venom Volume 1, so the new Ron V. Al Ewing run, which I'm reading in Weekly Comics. It collects the first 5 issues, $18 cover price. It's different, starting to catch its stride right now, and I feel like I just read issue 4, so we'll stick with it and see where it goes. All right, so the cover for Venom Volume 1, the trade paperback, is called Recursion. Like I said, Al Ewing and Rom V doing the first 5 issues in this trade. You know, it's interesting. I like the creative team, like I said. Don't love this book as much as I did with Donny Cates on it, but Donny Cates was like a blockbuster movie, and this is like a sci-fi, a sci-fi flick. So it's kind of it's a little bit different, of a different tone, I would say. But following Dylan Brock as Eddie's being space god, Eddie running into other space gods like this character here, who I think is, this is the first appearance of them in this kind of a garden of kings in black. So if you're a Venom fan, you got to keep it up. You got to keep reading it. You got to see where it goes. Nice variants in the back. So pick up the trade if you missed out on the singles. Before we get into the rest of the April 13th hardcovers for Marvel, we do have the Bloodshot oversized hardcover from Valiant. Big thanks to Greg over there for sending this through. $50 cover price on this. Collects Bloodshot 1 through 12 from the most recent series. If you guys want to jump into Bloodshot, this is a good opportunity. It feels very familiar. It's similar to the previous runs. And I think issue 12 has the comic story and backup story, but we'll flip through it and take a look at this together. There was a time where I owned every Valiant hardcover, so it's nostalgic seeing these back in the collection. All right, so here's a better look at the dust jacket here. So Tim Seeley wrote the majority of these issues, if not all of them, right? This is the oversized hardcover, Bloodshot. Here's the spine, and here's the back. You can see we have some nice artwork here. Like I said, $50 cover price. You basically get the 12-issue run so far, and I think the series did end at issue 12, actually. So it's not even a volume 1. It's just the whole run. Here we have the inside of the dust jacket. It'll give you a short biography on the character, on Tim Seeley, Brett Booth, who is an amazing artist, Mark Lamming, and Pedro Andrio. And just like all of the Valiant oversized hardcovers, this black canvas with this foil colored logo, which looks beautiful. Sometimes I wish I still had all of my Valiant oversized hardcovers, but space is an issue, man. So they break it down into these little arcs with the credits. They've always done this, give you all the covers of the arcs. And then here's the free comic book day, setting up this new run by Tim Seeley. And Tim Seeley is writing his ass off. I mean, he's got like 1 million books out. He's always working on something. So this art looks really great too. It almost has like Todd McFarlane Spawn vibes, right? Well, I guess that's Brett Booth for you, right? Yeah, it's got the Brett Booth art gives it the Spawn look. Yeah, the art is amazing, actually, man. I think I only read like half of this run, and I got lost in the release dates of them, and I think I just got behind and never continued. But I'm a fan of Bloodshot. I'm a fan of the shared Valiant universe. I would like to see them back to how they were in like 2014, 2015 with this huge universe with a lot of titles, but right now they're kind of just publishing a few titles at once. Bloodshot was one of the most recent. All right, back to April 13th. We have a few oversized hardcovers we're going to talk about first. We have Avengers by Jason Aaron, David Marquez, and Ed McGuinness. This is volume 2 of Jason Aaron's Avengers run, collecting issues 13 through 21, and Free Comic Book Day 2019 with a $40 cover price. I didn't jump into this run. I tried to jump into issue 50, actually, which is supposed to be a good jumping on point. It really wasn't. All right, so we have kind of a plain cover here for Jason Aaron's Avengers Volume 2. We've got the oversized hardcover, like I said, just that plain white spine. And the back here. So this must be what? Leading up to this World War She-Hulk? That happened in Avengers, I believe. This might be even before that. Yeah, so here we have a biography on where we're at with the Avengers and on the creative team as well. I was a huge Ed McGuinness fan, especially with some of his Hulk and Deadpool stuff. Then we got a beautiful wraparound cover here. Marvel will always do this with oversized hardcovers and omnis as long as they're modern. Not much to say on this. Like I said, didn't get into this arc. And I don't know, from what I've read of it, I don't know. It just hasn't really been my cup of tea. Andrea Sorrentino is the artist on Avengers 13. Oh, this is Andrea Sorrentino. Looks a lot more traditional than what he does on his Image stuff, but I love Andrea Sorrentino. But yeah, I don't know, man. The Avengers run by Jason Aaron. I guess I'm not really feeling the She-Hulk. I got to give it a chance and read it, though. I have not read it, so I can't really speak much on this. You guys let me know in the comments if you're reading this. I know I get a lot of Savage Avengers recommendations, but I don't really hear people say you got to read Aaron's Avengers. It does have all the variants in the back, which is super cool. This one looking like the Spectacular Spider-Man magazine. Greg Hildebrand, who did trading cards back in the day. That's awesome. Some cool variants here, actually, right? Alex Ross, jeez. And just some bonuses in the back. Speaking of Jason Aaron, same day, he's got another oversized hardcover coming out for Thor. Wrapping up his Thor run before the Omnibus comes out, it collects issues 12 through 16 of Thor from the 2018 volume and King Thor 1 through 4, which I did read but was a little confused because I missed a big chunk of the Jason Aaron Thor run, which I'm hoping to get caught up with when the Omnis come out. $40 cover price on this if you're collecting the OHCs. All right, so the cover for the final volume of Jason Aaron's Thor in oversized hardcover format, or OHC, like I said. I believe Volume 1 of the Omnibus comes out on this same release date. But yeah, 12 through 16 of Thor. I think he got a renumbering or a revoluming, if you will. And then King Thor 1 through 4. So yeah, as you can see, the final chapter telling us what's going on in the run, giving us some info on Jason Aaron, Michael Del Mundo, and Assad Ribic, who I am a big fan of, although he has a very unique art style. On the hardcover, we get the full image of this wraparound cover. Looks cool. I like that style. Painted art. I dig it. Nice, vibrant baby blue on the inside. Here we have the credits, the cover. They give you the non-trade dress plus the variant right in the beginning. So here we go. I think I may have read this. I don't really remember. I definitely read King Thor. I think I even was reading those when I first started doing the new comic book day reviews a few years ago. And that was his last hurrah on Thor, and then Donny Cates took over. Like I said, I missed a big chunk of the run, so I was a little confused. Gore the God Butcher here. I guess we shouldn't talk too much spoilery. But yeah, it's so cool to see them utilizing Gore for the movie. I mean, Jason Aaron's got to feel proud that he helped to create something that is now going to be on the big screen, right? Again, all the variants in the back. Odin looking all wigged out. Or is that King Thor? Malekith here. All right, then we have Wolverine. This is the Benjamin Percy run in oversized hardcover. This is volume 1, so you could jump in on Wolverine with the first 5 issues. Then it skips some tie-in issues, which I really like for the formatting of this, and then collects issues 8 through 12. So it does have a $40 cover price. We'll take it out of the saran wrap and flip through the art real quick now. Adam Kubert has been doing great artwork on the Wolverine run here by Benjamin Percy. So like I said, volume 1 with the OHC, you could jump right into it. I've been critical of this run, but cool to see them still putting out an OHC. $40. You get issues 1 through 5, then 8 through 12, like I said. Inside of the dust jacket, same deal. Biographies on the characters and creators. And then the wraparound cover on the hardcover with the Wolverine logo, giving you very much that textbook Hoxpox feel. So I guess the best way to look at this run, it doesn't feel like a long, overarching story. It almost feels like you're having these little spurts of arcs that don't necessarily tie together, that are getting interrupted by events that has obligatory tie-ins, or obligatory tie-ins, I should say. But if you like Wolverine, I mean, it doesn't have to be a big, long, overarching story, a big, long arc. It could just be these short kind of stories. Here's something tying in with Marauders, and you know, I like the premise of the Omega Red stuff with the vampires. I like where it ended up going as well with the Madripoor storyline with Maverick here. So I mean, it definitely has its highlights. I guess I just have my criticisms about it. I guess I just expected more from it, and now I'm reading 10 Lives, 10 Deaths, and I don't know what to expect. But variants in the back for the OHC as normal. Oh, I love the Jim Lee, right? The kind of reusing his art for that cover. Okay, now on to the Omnis. And what's cool with me not really keeping up with the news so much, I didn't even know this was coming out. We have the Doctor Strange Omnibus by Jason Aaron and Chris Bachalo. This has a $75 cover price, collecting the 20-issue run from 2015, plus the annual and Doctor Strange Last Days of Magic. I must have read some of this. We're going to flip through it together, but it sounds familiar. I think I read these as they were coming out. But a thinner Doctor Strange Omnibus. Most of the Doctor Strange Omnis are pretty thin. Yeah, the dust jacket cover looks super familiar. This is probably the cover for issue 1. I swear I've read some of this. Doctor Strange, Jason Aaron with a big release this haul. I gave already the price and what it collects. Here's the artwork on the back, which looks cool. At this point, we've memorized the biography for Jason Aaron. But you got Chris Pachalo here as well. The Last Days of Magic, Doctor Strange from 2015. Here we have the wraparound cover, pretty trippy, a little black and white, a little color. To the black cover page here. All right, got a little cartoonish vibe here. The credits and table of contents. Yeah, here's issue 1. Giving a little bit of a flashback. Yeah, fighting monsters. I read this material. I don't really recall it too much. I definitely didn't read the entire run, which means I dropped it. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is coming. So again, the good timing with these movie releases and Disney Plus releases, prepping us for the material and, you know, capitalizing on the SEO. Variants in the back, a ton of them. It feels like thick with variants. Joe Jusko variant, loved those. Wasn't a fan of the box variant kind of gimmick they did, but I love Jusko art, man, especially on legacy characters. All right, guys, also, we have the reprint of a whale, Captain Britain Omnibus. I have both the regular and the DM variant. This one is the DM variant, and this one should be the regular one. I do have the first printing as well, and we'll do an overhead comparison, but the new printing has a $125 cover price, collects Captain Britain issues 1 through 39, Super Spider-Man and Captain Britain 231 to 247, Hulk Comic 1 and 3 through 46, Incredible Hulk Weekly 47 through 55, and 57 through 63. We have Marvel Superheroes 377 through 388, Daredevils 1 through 11, Mighty World of Marvel 7 through 16, Captain Britain 1 through 14, Marvel Tales 131 through 133, plus Marvel Team Up issues 65 and 66, New Mutants Annual 2, and X-Men Annual 11. Some of these titles sound made up, man. Like Incredible Hulk Weekly, Hulk Comic Daredevils. What is all this, man? So I bought the first print when that was a whale. I still haven't read it. They reprinted it for the collectors and all of us. Let's take a look at Captain Britain. I heard it was good. All right, guys, now on to this Captain Britain reprint. So what we have right here is the first printing, and then Marvel sent the DM and regular covers for the new printing. Now, Marvel has been doing 3 covers for some books. However, I don't see that this first printing cover is part of the release. Now, I could be wrong. That would be cool for first print collectors. But what's kind of weird also here is that the new books are way thicker. And usually it's the other way around, right? Usually the reprint comes out and it's super thin. Let's just compare the contents real quick. Okay, I see what's going on here. So the new version, guys, is not so much a reprint, but it's like what they did with Eternals and Squadron Supreme. They included the entire 39-issue run from the 1976 Captain Britain volume. That's not included in here. This just starts with Marvel Superheroes with Daredevils. This also has more material with that whole Incredible Hulk Weekly and Hulk Comic 1 and 3 through 46. So this has a lot more what seems like shorter Captain Britain stories. Maybe they were in magazine format in the UK or what have you. Yeah, and if you notice, it does not have the thumbnails on the back either. They've changed that with different artwork. So that makes this a little interesting. Inside of the dust jacket, we get the biography on the character here, Captain Britain. And believe it or not, even for older material, we do get a wraparound hardcover. That's awesome. Now with these books, guys, or any omnibus, you want to lay it flat really first. You want to kind of let the pages fall to each side a few times to really stretch that spine out. You don't want to get spine damage. As you can see, flipping through that Hulk comic, you saw the black and white kind of magazine style stuff. So this is a huge improvement on the original Captain Britain omnibus, which again, I heard the story was great there. Huge table of contents. Yeah, this looks like magazine stuff, which he probably had just a short story within. So this is him in the 70s. I'm sure a couple of pages will go by, and then that'll just be the first issue. Yeah, see? In full color. So all that stuff, jumping into the black and white stuff like I mentioned. Yeah, the UK was big during this time on publishing like weekly versions of stuff. I think they had like a Star Wars weekly and things of that nature as well. So this is for like the Captain Britain fanatic. Maybe somebody who grew up reading that stuff in the UK. But it also has like the original Omnibus. It double dips in that sense. Some of the American material here towards the end. The art looks promising though. It has that pulp feel, right? Like definitely magazine style stuff. This looks more like American comics. The XMen stuff. Yeah. So mostly the UK magazine, Captain Britain material. A lot of bonuses in the back too, guys. Let me know what you think about him, man. I was never a Captain Britain fan. I always remembered him from the 92 Marvel Masterpieces by Joe Jusko. Just a big swole, like, UK version of Cap is how I looked at him. Alright guys, and the last book, same release date, but the Wolverine Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. I was just talking about this in my new Comic Book Day video, this arc, which took place in Marvel Comics Presents, how they're revisiting that in the current run of Wolverine. Awesome to have this in this oversized, what is this, a Treasury edition? Or what do they consider these? The Gallery Edition hardcover. So collects Marvel Comics Presents 72 through 84, Wolverine issue 166, and the Uncanny X-Men 205 with a $45 cover price. Amazing artwork, awesome retconning here. It is collected in the Wolverine Volume 1 Omnibus. However, this is a larger, different format. And there we have it, guys, that huge haul. Did any of these catch your attention? Are you looking to pick any of these up? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.